Okay, YouTubers, this is Joe from ArtAlienTV, another quick game of interplanetary ice bike on here. And we're back on Mars, back at Gale Crater, and we're looking at this image from the NASA website, Mars Science Laboratory, Curiosity Rover, and we are back to Sol 590. Link will be below in the description, so you can download this and check it out yourself, okay? Right, so here we have it, and we scroll down to near the bottom of the image, and we see this thing here. Now, this isn't very big. I would say this is probably only 3 or 4 inches long, okay? Possibly a little bit smaller, but it's no bigger than about 5 inches long, for sure, okay? And you can see this also on the Gigapan. There'll be a link to this here. Now, this is a cool Gigapan, this one. This is done by Ben Master, but there are others by Neville Thompson as well, of the same area. But I just seem to have picked this one for now, and I'll show you where to look on the Gigapan. I'll zoom out. Okay, it's right near this corner bit here, at the bottom of the image, near the center, sort of right. Okay, just here, and we've got this big mound over here. Now, incidentally, this is a very interesting Gigapan, one of the best. Why? Well, because not only do you have things like skulls and interesting objects in the foreground here, there's also some interesting stuff on this mound, or near the edge of this mound, and also right up here in the top left corner you've got some interesting stuff in the background, such as what look like shipwrecks and boats and rather interesting structures there. Okay, so this really does have it all, this Gigapan. It's got everything, and it's absolutely rammed with anomalies like cut stone blocks. There are what look like coffin-shaped kind of stone blocks in here, and right over here on this ridge line we have what looks like a guy walking up the side of the hill here. Okay, we've got the hill here, and then we zoom right in, and there's this thing which I published a couple of years ago now, which looks like a person walking up the hill. Now, this may not be, of course. It may be an optical illusion where you've got a couple of a rock behind, a white looking rock behind, and a darker one in front, but it does look like a person walking, and it may actually be a figurine. There are lots of statues, and broken statues especially, and figures carved in this area, so it wouldn't surprise me if this is actually made of rock and not a person at all. I'll just show you that quickly in a minute. I'll come back to that. Let's quickly look at this, what looks like a humanoid skull, okay? I've got it up in the folder already, and I've already processed it basically here. I haven't gone too crazy with it. I've taken a clip from the Gigapan here, but you can easily get it from the single download image as well. And I'll just show you it a bit further back. There it is. Now, it's not a great quality image, of course, but you can see in the raw image here an elongated skull which has got a long part to the back of it there, and you've got a nose here, some teeth here, an eye socket there, and a brow ridge here, and the head goes up over like this. Okay, now this looks better obviously when you enhance it, like I've done here. Real basic enhancement. I've gone in quite dark, I've color corrected it, and added some contrast, and I won't get too close because it won't get any sharper, but basically what we have here is what looks very much to be a humanoid skull, although not as human as we might think. Well, comparing it to a human skull, you've got a very pointed upper maxilla here, so the upper lip area and where the teeth are here is very pointed, almost chimp-like. So this is a proto-human. This is not a modern human as we would call ourselves, with very flat facial features at the front. This is quite a sloping, pointed facial feature here, okay? Just here. And there is, unfortunately, this is a way off from the camera, and it's not very big, so we're not seeing much detail. But there is just enough, for me, at least, to confirm that this does look like a humanoid or proto-human type skull, okay? Let me show you some other enhancements quickly. It kind of looks better probably in this image here, where I've highlighted it in yellow, like an orangey yellow, just to bring out the shape of it more and make it a bit more easy to see on the mobile device. You have to do this with these images. because you really cannot see them on the mobile otherwise, okay? There we have it. What can I say? It looks like a humanoid skull. And there are many others I have uncovered. I've probably actually found more skulls on Mars than anybody, as far as I know. I know other people have found them as well, and this is why I initially started looking at Mars images years ago, because of some various quite famous finds from some of the earlier Mars rover images that were taken many years ago. And that's what got me interested in this whole Mars thing. Was basically I wanted to look at the morphology of Martian skulls compared to human skulls on Earth. And some of them do look quite proto-human, like this one. Okay, so I'll put clips of these in at the end as well, and I'll try and highlight it even more and clean up the image a bit more for you, because I did this a while ago. It's been sitting on my desktop for probably about a year now, and I completely forgot about it. I'll just come back to it. But I'll just show you that guy that's like, he's walking up the hill there, because that's one of my viral videos, and I've got it up here somewhere. Mars Man Walking, it's called, and it's done quite a lot of hits there, 166,000. Now, I'm not saying it is a man walking, but I've just called it that. It may be a statue, it may just be a rock, but it does look very much like a small person, only about 1 or 2 feet, about 2 foot tall, walking up a ridge in the background, okay? Somewhere between 1 and 2 feet, 1 and 2 feet tall. Sorry, I get my teeth in. Now, of course, this white object may well be behind this, on this ridge behind, and this figure type thing may be in front, but it does look like it's joined. You can almost see like the back of the neck here and the back of the shoulders. Very odd indeed. So now you know where to find it. You can actually have a look for yourself and see what you think. This is one of my favourite finds. It's very controversial, of course, and when you get too close to it, it doesn't get any clearer. But I did make some interesting comparisons here. Bald head, arm, knee, and it kind of looks like somebody wearing a gown or long kind of robe. And there is a comparison here coming up now with someone on Earth. There we go. Very similar indeed to this kind of robe that a Buddhist monk might wear, okay? So there we go. Not really related to this find, but only because it's in the same area, okay? I'll zoom back out for you. Here's what looks like the monk. I'm not saying it is a monk, of course. Very small indeed. But is he really that small, or is he just further away? I don't think this is a 6 foot tall person. This is quite small, and if it is a figurine or a person, who knows? But it's actually very hard to tell how big it is, because it's a long way off. And it may be much taller than I'm actually saying. It's very difficult to work out the sizes here, because the skull we have is right down here, by this ridge line here. You've got this row of, this kind of little ridge and a row of stuff here. And this skull is just here. So there's quite a distance between that skull there and the possible guy walking over here, okay? So that is a long way off. Actually, is it this one? Yeah, it's this ridge line here. It's not the first one, this one, it's the second one back, further back. So that's quite a long way. That could be a kilometre away or half a kilometre, 500 metres, I couldn't tell you, to be honest. Very hard to say, but it's a way off anyway. So who knows? If it is a person, it could be full size, could be even taller, don't know. Hard to say. But do check out at the end of the video. I will have some links to my playlist here. There's Mars Skulls Top 10. I've got some of my all my best skulls, clearest skulls on Mars. Some of them are humanoid, and some of them are like animal skulls. But if you want to see the whole collection, go to this one, Alien Skulls and Bones on Mars. Okay, and this has got loads and loads of stuff in here, and you will find very similar and multiple similar finds in this playlist as well, to actually go with the one I'm showing you now. So this isn't just a one-off. This is one of dozens and dozens of skulls that I found so far. Some of them may just be rocks that are very similar shape to skulls, but a humanoid skull or any type of skull is a very specific thing, and skulls have a very particular kind of shape and morphology to them. I'm not saying this is the same as a human skull. It isn't. It's more like a proto-human. Okay, I'll go back to that folder again just to show you. And if you look at the eye sockets, I mean, these are very specific details that you don't get in rocks. Rocks very rarely have holes hollowed out of them, and would very rarely have a brow ridge and a nose and a nasal cavity like we have here, and teeth and an upper maxilla and a cranium going back here and in a sort of elongated shape, with some almost looks like some kind of deformity on top here. Don't know what's going on there. There may be damage to this skull, maybe cracked or broken slightly, but there is a kind of odd lump on the top here. Perhaps that's some kind of morphology that we don't normally have down here. Don't know. So, answers on the postcard, guys. What do you think? Is this a human? Is it an alien? Is it some kind of proto-human or almost chimp-like humanoid skull, like I think it is? Or is it just a rock? Many of you still seem to think there are only rocks on Mars, even though I've now probably found 2 or 3 dozen skulls on the surface, probably even more than that now, many of them humanoid, but many of them animals as well. So there seem to have been all manner of creatures on Mars, including mammals, reptiles and humanoids and all sorts, okay? So there we have it. I will put some more clips of this coming up in about 30 seconds, and I'll try and clean up the image a bit more for you, really brighten it up so you can see it on your mobile devices, okay? Thank you for watching, everybody. Check out at the end of the video also the playlist I mentioned. They will be at the end of the video for you to click on. Thanks for watching. I'll see you soon.